Okay, here I'm going to show you that how you can create a request and then send it to the maintenance team and close the work order. So in this case, we need to define three at least or two levels of the user user level, but here I'm going to show you three different user level. For example, this view who has access to all of the menu is under administration, and here is my user things. Another tab is different user, which is just a supervisor or a maintenance supervisor team by this information of the user. And for sure the next tab is just a requester, and for the requester, as you could see, even he or she doesn't have access to the main menu, but we can change the access level, but the default is something like that. So the process is, first of all, I am as a requester can simply log in to the system by this information and try to add a new request. So now once I press on the new request button, from here I can, for example, select my request category, which is demand, or request class, or different job that we can even add it here. But the job is depend on the request class, so you can, for example, select this class and then jump to this job, and depend on this classification, even you can have auto assignment to a specific labor or the maintenance department. So those are some kind of logic or business logic, depends on your maintenance policy. So I can select date that I request to perform the job, or from here I can see the location, even I can select my assets, for example this one, and then from here I can say what's the problem. So please fix the issue or something like that as a sample. And then if I have any comments about this one, I can create this comment, and this comment can be private or can be public to anybody. Private means just send to maintenance supervisor or something. So test comment, and from here please follow the instruction. So something like that. So you can save it, and then like I said, it can be private or public. For sure you can add some picture. For example, here I'm going to add this picture to this request, so then it can be something like that. So for sure you can have additional picture if you want. For example, if I press on this one and select any other picture, or for example this picture, I can have multi-picture assigned to this request without any problem. So, and then once you're happy with that, you can save this request. So please note that you can see the status of your request anytime by coming to this status column, or even if you have like hundreds of requests, you can just simply go to our filter panel and try to filter by different columns and find your specific request. Or even if you want to find your specific request, you can search it somewhere here. For example, if I looking for maintenance, I can just write this one, and it's find all of the request contains the maintenance, or any word that we already have it here or something. So this is the first step. So now I send a request to the maintenance department, and the maintenance department will receive a notification for that. And then once they log into their actually request to the software and go to maintenance module, and if they go to the service request, then they can see this request that this person or requester already created. So they can just open it and simply check all of the information, and even they have access to the picture that requester sends, or the comments that requester asked for that. So, but from here, he can simply, or I mean, he or she as a supervisor or decision maker can simply reject it, or can hold it, or assign it to any specific supervisor in his team. Or if he's a supervisor and authorized to assign a labor, he can simply come over here and assign it to the labor. So I will assign to this person and say some comments, some sample comments for this person, and then that's it. Or even I can add some sub status for this status, so I can say, okay, it's approved as a request. So now I assign it to the, assign this request to a specific to a specific labor by this kind of information. And even I can come over to the work order tab to make sure that I already create a work order for this request. And directly from here, I can open it and see additional information if needed. But if I close this one, now I assign it to the labor. And if I want to, if the labor actually wanted to do a job and performing the job, they can simply come over to the work order tab of their grid or their access, and then they can open their request and see the information, everything. And if they want to, for example, add some material to this request, they can simply come over here and try to add a material, and then from the material list they can, for example, select multi-material to this one. Let us just add this kind of stuff. If he or she needs to add, even from here they can access to the documents, but if they want to add additional documents, they can come over here and try to add any additional documents if needed, for example, just as a how can I say, sample, or I don't know, something like this. Or from this one, even they can see the history of this request, when it has happened, when changed to the request, to the work order, everything. But once they did a job and wanted to report that we did a job, they can, for example, come over to the labor and add the information they wanted. I mean, when they start the job, at what time, and when they finish the job. And for sure, if you assign the hourly rate to this specific labor, you can track it from here, and we can calculate the cost, or we can add a cost or cost center of this work order to a specific cost center or specific resources that needs to be charged, and then you can save it from here. So once you're happy for doing the job and you want to close the work order, you can simply come over here and press this button as a close out. Or if you want to cancel this one, you can even do that. Or if you want to hold this one because of any reason, I mean the shortage material or anything, you can just hold it. Or if you want to, for example, see the exact location of this specific job, you can even click on this location, this open drawing button, and see where you're going to do this job. And like I said, if everything is okay, then you can, I mean, you did a job and now you want to make a report and feedback to the system. So you can press on the close out, and from the close out you can say when you finish this how can I say, this work order exactly by today. You can define a cost center. You can say the actual time that the labor did a job on this part or this work order. For the material, you can define the actual quantity of your material, so from here, and then you can close the work order. So once you close the work order, everything, all of the information will be disabled. That means no one can change the closed work order information unless you reopen the work order actually. So that means if I go to the labor or any other places, then I cannot change the information from here. So then I can close this one, and now this request has been closed. So for sure I can track all of the things on the calendar view, and I can filter the information of the work order, like the status or priority or anything. I mean, depends on or what was the job from here, and find your request. But here was our request that I can simply click on that and see additional information if I need to read. Or from here I can move, I mean, to drag the work order or work request between different calendar views. So for sure you have different views that you can use a job from here. So this is a calendar things that you can use it to manage your work order better. And once everything's done, or when in each step the status of the work order changed, then a requester even can see the changes from here. For example, here it was sorry, let us stay here. Here was a request that we had, and now you see the status has been closed. So if I was a requester, so now I can come over here and see that everything's done. So if you want, we can add additional tab, like additional information, access to additional information to this requester to read more about, like who was a laborer, who was a number of material. But by default we are not going to show more information about a request. We just inform requester that, hey, your job has been done, and you can check by yourself. So for sure in each steps they can receive a notification. And if I want to quickly show you the notification part that you can modify it by yourself, or setting is we have here, for example, for the requester. And if I want to just enable it and simply preview my request, I can see that. So you can come over here and simply change your notification settings, that when and who should receive different types of notifications. So here was a very top view overview of the work order process. So I hope you enjoyed. So I was on sandbox sites that I already gave you an access to it, so you can go ahead and try by yourself. Just keep in mind that you can have all of different functional group, I mean different user level in different tabs instead of log off, log in. And if you want to refresh the grid, you can simply just change the sort, or you can reload the page, or you can just use this filter panel. I mean, it would be totally up to you by different ways. All right, so thanks for watching, and I hope you'll be able to follow your process on Evolve application.